This video is sponsored by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence.
Now the lady on the grey leads us in the macabre.
It's so sad. Hello everyone and welcome to another reading vlog. I went out onto Patreon and asked everyone what type of reading vlog they'd like to see. Overwhelmingly, everyone wanted to see a Neil Gaiman readathon, so that's what we're going to be filming today. Why am I wearing my extravagant witchy dress, you ask? I just finished filming the witchy Halloweeny books recommendation video, and now I'm going to take a bit of a break, and then I'm going to start reading the sort of first Neil Gaiman book of this vlog. Now, I'm planning on reading a lot of Neil Gaiman books in this vlog. I'm hoping to read The Graveyard Book and Coraline because it's been a while since I've reread either of those. However, I'm also halfway through two different Neil Gaiman books. Let's get the first one. Where is American Gods? The very first one, which I'm reading currently, is American Gods. Now, I'm this far into it. I'm pretty close to finishing it. Still like 200 pages left, but for how big this book is, that's pretty close. Now, this is the book that we're actually reading for the month of September for our book club. So I have actually started filming this video in late September. I'm also currently halfway through Ocean at the End of the Lane because I started reading it in my last readathon vlog. I also want to read, as I said, Graveyard Book, which is just behind me on the shelf here, and also Coraline. I might listen to the audiobook of that while I'm working. This vlog might take a couple weeks to film, so yay. So yeah, let's go to Coles. Actually, I need to get changed because this is just this dress. I love it to absolute, hello to the extension cord there. I love it to absolute pieces. I don't think it's focusing properly. Here we are, here's my dress. It's so pretty, but it's honestly a bit much to wear to Coles to go get some ham to make ham and cheese toasties or an omelette or whatever it is I'm gonna make. Anyway, let's go to Coles. Hello, it is a few days later. I can't even remember what day it was when I read American Gods and actually like filmed the last few clips in this vlog. I'm all finished with American Gods now. Hello, editing Christy here. This is the second video in a row where I've had to pop in because I've just completely forgotten something really, really important while filming. Anyway, realized that I never explained the premise of American Gods, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. American Gods is a story by Neil Gaiman, which is 170,000 words long. It's very, very long. Short way to describe it is that it's kind of like a road trip across the US. It is about a man whose name is Shadow. Shadow has recently gotten out of prison. His wife dies, so really, really tragic, sad thing has happened. He's been looking forward to going home and seeing his wife, and she tragically passes away. Shadow, not really understanding what to do with his life, what direction to go in, boards a plane where he meets a mysterious man whose name is Wednesday, who claims to be a god and the king of America. And so Shadow ends up on like this epic journey where he meets like all of these gods from like many different cultures. Because it is such a long book, the thing that kind of let it down for me is the fact that it's very hard to like identify with Shadow because he doesn't have a lot of agency. He doesn't really know what he wants in life. And so be warned, that is, a lot of people struggle to connect with Shadow as a main character just because of that reason. But yes, I will hand it back to Vlog Christy to continue this video. I liked the book overall. Like I liked the ending of the book, but the book is very, very large and I read the extended version. So I'm going to be doing like a deep dive and a really big like review video on that. I want to film that tomorrow, but I ended up writing like 4 pages worth of notes for that book review. I found American Gods to be a really interesting one because there were parts of that book I didn't super duper love very much, but there were parts that I also did quite like about that book. But yes, basically that review video is going to be up on Patreon. Today was the day I actually got the second vaccine, so I have a very mild headache, but other than that I honestly feel fine. So I'm hoping that I don't feel too ill tomorrow and that I can actually get some stuff done. Because over the weekend I didn't really do very much reading or anything. On Saturday I ended up going to see a play with a friend of mine. We went to see a community theatre production of Evita. That was my Saturday, and then Sunday we had a family thingy and I baked a whole bunch of lemon and poppy seed muffins, and my weekend ended up being like really, really full with social stuff, so I haven't done any more reading. But yes, now that I'm all finished with American Gods, I'm going to get started on reading Ocean at the End of the Lane. Actually, fun fact, this will be the first book that I reread this whole year. Every other book that I've read this year has been a new read. I haven't reread any books, but yes, I'm going to get reading now, and I'm going to tuck into The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. Why hello there, voiceover Christy just jumping in to thank the lovely sponsor of this video, which is Squarespace. Squarespace is a website builder which allows people to create dynamic and interesting websites with ease. If you watch a lot of my videos, you are well and truly aware by now that my website is built through Squarespace. I really, really do love their platform. I loved how easy it was to make my website, and particularly how easy it was to get everything looking cool and aesthetically pleasing. There are so many benefits that come with Squarespace. It has great analytics features so that you can understand the people who are visiting your site, and also powerful blogging tools so you can connect with the people who are interested in what you make. If you're looking to make a website, head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/ChristyAnnJones to save 10% off your purchase of a website or domain. It is the next day, and thankfully I feel pretty good actually. Like I have a bit of a headache and I feel really quite tired. My arm is a bit sore from like where the injection went in, but other than that I really don't have any symptoms from the second dose of Pfizer, so that's really, really good. I just finished filming the wrap up for Patreon for American Gods. I think I spoke for 40 or 50 minutes, so I'm gonna have to edit that down. When I'm filming like book talking videos, I always overfilm so much because I have so much to say, and then I just keep talking and talking because I get really, really into it, and I always sort of find myself in this position where I have to like edit down my videos a lot. There were a lot of bits that I didn't love so much about the story, and it's definitely not my favorite Neil Gaiman book. For me, my favorite Neil Gaiman books are stuff like The Ocean at the End of the Lane. So actually I'll go get my copy. I ended up reading a fair chunk of it last night, but I fell asleep because I was really tired, and the whole way through reading this I was just thinking about how much more I love this book than American Gods. I am going to hopefully finish reading this book tonight. This book is so sad. Like, it's so just beautifully done. Neil Gaiman is really, really good at like finishing off a book. He writes really good endings, but I just, it's so sad. Ocean at the End of the Lane is now all done. I just finished reading it. I don't think I actually spoke about the synopsis of the book, so I'll just tell you guys that here. The Ocean at the End of the Lane is a story about a man who goes back to his hometown to attend a funeral. This man is middle-aged, he has a family, and between going to the burial and the wake, he ends up going for a drive and accidentally drives back past his childhood home. Ends up remembering all of these like spooky things that happened to him when he was a 7-year-old boy. And so in this book, we like go back into like the 7-year-old perspective of the main character. This is a really short book. When Neil Gaiman was writing it, he intended for it to be a short story, and then it sort of just kept going. So it's quite a speedy little read. It's a short one. I love this book so very much. I think it's absolutely brilliant. And yeah, I love the ending of this book so much. I think it is so beautifully done. Like, I think the ending is just a little bit sad and forlorn. I tend to get like a little bit teary reading at the end of this book just because it's just so sad. But it's not like weepingly sad, I don't think. I think I cried a bit the first time I read it, but I didn't like weep. And yeah, that was Ocean at the End of the Lane, which is the second book for this Neil Gaiman readathon. This might be one of the most like all over the place reading vlogs I've ever filmed. Honestly, it's been a few days since I last sort of checked in with you guys because burnout hit me like a wall of bricks. Is that even the expression? Burnout hit me like a cement truck, something like that. For those of you who are new here, who are not like used to me whinging about this, I've sort of been like getting over burnout over the last few months. And for me, I sort of find that it resurfaces every 3 or 4 weeks, and I end up with a few days of just feeling like absolute crap. But here we are. I look tired, but the truth is that I slept for like 11 hours last night, so that's great. So yeah, I haven't done as much reading this week of like the Neil Gaiman books as I would have wanted. Also because I really want to get the illustration project finished before the end of the year. I've been working really hard on it, which might have something to do with the fact that I feel a little bit burnt out this week because I've been doing some longer hours, but I'm trying to pace myself. But I've just sort of fallen down this rabbit hole of really intensely working on that project. So back to Neil Gaiman and this Neil Gaiman readathon vlog. I really wanted to listen to an audiobook for this vlog because it's like one of the biggest ways I get a lot of reading done. Probably like 25 to 30% of my reading is done on audiobooks, so it's a significant part of my reading, but it never really ends up being in any of my vlogs. And today I wanted to be able to work on the illustration project while listening to a Neil Gaiman book. So I wanted to listen to Coraline originally, but I could not find Coraline with like Neil Gaiman reading it anywhere. The only place I could find it was on Libby, which is a wonderful free library app. I like recommend Libby to death. I think it's wonderful. That had like an 8-week wait on Coraline, and so I ended up deciding to listen to the Graveyard book as an audiobook, which is probably better value anyway because it's like 7.5 hours. And yeah, I started listening to that yesterday, so I'm hoping to finish that book today for our continuation of this Neil Gaiman readathon vlog. I'm gonna get some work done on the illustration project, gonna listen to this book, gonna eat some pasta soon. It should be a good day.
Facing them all, the living and the dead of them. She curtsied, and as one they bowed or curtsied in return, and the dance began anew. Now the lady on the grey leads us in the macabre, sang Liza Hempstock, before the whirl of the dance took her off and away from board. Even the white horse swayed its head and stepped and shifted. Every man Jack. Silas had been preoccupied for the previous several months. He had begun to leave the graveyard, sitting in Josiah Worthington's tomb, talking to Josiah Worthington. Josiah Worthington said, "You mean to say that he did not tell either of you? But I'll take another look when I come out on Saturday. Is your mother likely to put in an appearance? She said she'd drop me off here in the morning, and then she has to go and get groceries for our dinner. She's cooking a roast chicken." There had originally been 4 of them, but they had lost Haroun in a cave far above. Chapter 8. Leavings and Partings.
Okay, I just finished the Graveyard Book and I love that book so very much. Like, the ending always just gets me just a little bit emotional. I also managed to get quite a bit of work done today, which is good. As I said earlier, I've sort of struggled a little bit with, maybe I should take this off my computer because I'm not ready to show this to anyone yet. Hide desktop icons. Okay, there we go. I am very excited about this. I know I keep talking about, oh my god, it's dark here. I'm so very excited that I'm now properly like making headway in the illustration project. And I listened to the rest of the Graveyard Book, obviously. Goodness, I've just realized my hair is a mess. This is just the reality of what I actually look like working from home. Normally just a bit of a smacked pigeon. Anyway, now that I work mostly from home and I leave my house a lot less, and I don't work in an office, I wear makeup like once a week, and it's generally when I'm filming a YouTube video. So normally it's just me in like pajama pants or yoga pants. Today I'm actually wearing jeans, so good for me. And also the band t-shirt from the last time I went to live music before the world ended. I love the ending of the Graveyard Book, and I love that book so very much. So the Graveyard Book, let me grab my copy. Actually, it's quite funny that I'm wearing the shirt today. This wasn't in any way deliberate, but I got this book signed by Neil Gaiman when I met him in March of 2020, like literally the week before like everything fell to pieces. And he signed my copy of the Graveyard Book. The night before that happened though, Tyler and I went to the 1OK Rock concert, and then I remember when I met him, I was actually wearing this t-shirt, so that's quite funny. That genuinely wasn't planned. This is just what I wanted to wear today. Anyway, this is a really, really beautiful middle grade story. This is the first Neil Gaiman book that I ever read, and I read it for one of my children's lit courses for my postgrad, and it's a story about a young boy whose name is Bod. So basically the premise of the story is that when Bod is a toddler, his whole family is murdered by this man, and Bod like narrowly escapes by toddling off out the door and up to the local graveyard, and the ghosts of the graveyard take him in and raise him. And so it's kind of like the Jungle Book, but ghosts and graves and this boy who lives in a graveyard. And it's delightfully cute and gothic, and I love it so very much. It's been a really like nice thing to listen to while I've been working on the illustration project. It's the first time I've listened to the audiobook version of it, because normally I'll read this copy. So that is Neil Gaiman book number 3 of this read-a-thon vlog. I almost said read-a-flon. Vlog all done. The next book I'm probably going to read is Coraline. I am all done with reading Coraline, and that is the very last Neil Gaiman book for this Neil Gaiman readathon vlog. I was considering reading another Neil Gaiman book, but given that up until this point this vlog has taken me 3 weeks to make, I probably should like cut off here and stick with the 4 Neil Gaiman books I've read. My final thoughts on Coraline after the reread is that I just love that book. It's a book that's quite short, so I read it in like 2 and a bit or 3 hours. It didn't actually take me very long to read it, so I read it in one sitting. The premise of Coraline is that we have a young girl who I think is like around 10 years old or something like that, and she has recently moved into this like creepy flat which is located in an old house. She's with her parents, she's an only child, and it's the summertime. She's about to go back to school, but she's quite bored, and so she starts exploring the house, and she finds a door in her apartment and basically enters into another world where she meets her other mother, who is this creepy lady who has buttons for eyes, and she's very like demonic and scary, and the story sort of follows on from there. So it's a really delightful middle grade. It's very gothic and creepy, and I'm gonna place this down because the camera feels awfully heavy today. I think I kind of slept funny, so my neck is a little bit sore. Normally I don't have a problem holding my camera, but tripod, hello. It's been really interesting reading all of these Neil Gaiman books in succession because I feel like recently I've gotten a really good insight into Neil Gaiman's like earlier work. So when I discovered Neil Gaiman's books, it wasn't actually that long ago. The first story by him I sort of like experienced was Instructions, and I'll link the video down below that I listened to, but I got told to listen to it by the lecturer for my like kids lit class I was taking for my postgrad, and then for that same class we also read the Graveyard Book, and so those were the first Neil Gaiman works that I experienced, and then from there went on and read Coraline and The Ocean at the End of the Lane. That was the type of Neil Gaiman story I really enjoyed to begin with, and it wasn't until quite recently that I went and actually listened to the Sandman audio production and read American Gods and realized how dark Neil Gaiman started off with his career. Like Sandman, I don't know how similar the audio production is to the comics, but like it's pretty dark, it's pretty violent, there's lots of sexual violence in it, there's some like heavy content there, which I wasn't expecting because the Neil Gaiman I started with was Neil Gaiman the children's writer, and so I sort of went backwards in terms of chronology. As it turns out, I enjoy Neil Gaiman's kids books and shorter novels and short stories quite a bit more than I enjoyed like American Gods. I did like Neverwhere, but it's sort of like mid-tier Neil Gaiman for me. Like I thought it was really, really good, but I just like Coraline, Graveyard Book, Ocean at the End of the Lane way more. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Thank you so very much for watching, and an enormous thank you to everyone over on Patreon for supporting this channel. Please feel free to check out Patreon. We have a whole bunch of bonus content over there. There is a link in the description down below. Take care everyone, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.